what it is. 237, no place like home.
Catch me on the stoop.
You heard it. And this week, we got the legendary host with the most. I'm going to let, because he a legend, I'm going to let him introduce himself.
Yo, we on the stoop 237. But for live purposes, it's 937. You will not find my location. Anyway, my name is Ray Dejon, more associated with an iconic television show called Video Music Box. Of course, you know, shout out to my man, VJ Ralph McDaniels, who gave me my opportunity 30 years ago to be a part of hip-hop history. I'm a small contributor, but nonetheless, I am a contributor.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
Very much so.
Very much so.
100%.
Yeah.
We used
I was in
to.
the trenches when it was all happening and developing and snowballing into the biggest genre of music, not just in the country, but in the world.
In the world. Now, 30 years ago, how did you get to Video Music Box? How
Okay.
did that come about?
So, yeah, which is, well, just think of it this way, guys. If anybody's an aspired, you know, you aspire to be a television host or even radio. If you take all the urban radio stations in New York, there's Power 105, WBLS, Hot 97, and now 94.7 The Block. If you count how many personalities are on the station, it's an average of 4 to 5 on each. So you got about 20 positions in the whole New York City, which is the biggest market in the country. When I say biggest market, I mean there's more people that live in this concentrated metropolitan area. So when you had video shows, there was 3 video shows at the time when I started. There was another video show called Dance Tracks USA, which I started on that one with this guy named Tony Toon, who is now a politician. There was MTV that copied Video Music Box. We'll get into that later. And there was Video Music Box. So there was only maybe 4 positions on Video Music Box. So me getting experience on Dance Tracks, I kept coming back to Ralph. And Ralph, I want to shout out, I wanted to be on that. That show was on 6 days a week. The other show I was on was only on one time on Saturday. But I started getting experience, and then one year, I went to Ralph. It was during the holidays. So during the holidays, in between Christmas and New Year's, there's the most parties, concerts. So I went to him once, and he was like, "Yo, you came at a good time. I'm actually short of host. I already know what you could do." So he said, "Here's your location. Here's a promoter. These are the interviews I need you to do. Just bring me back the tape, and we good." And ever since that day, I've been on that show.
Right place, right time.
Yeah,
Wow.
100%.
And to keep grinding at it and keep going at it, like the perseverance, to keep coming back, to chopping it up with Ralph. Like, yo, Ralph, I want a shot. Ralph, I want a shot.
Yes.
You know, and
I was persistent.
yes,
Persistent.
yes.
But I also knew what I was doing.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna give you something that's very odd, because my first career before entertainment was substance abuse. So I'm what's called a CASAC. I'm a certified substance abuse counselor. So you say, well, why did you get into that? Because I was a user initially. I was in the streets. Been arrested 26 times and did 2 state bids. The last one I did was a 2 to 6, and I CR'd on that. Those people from jail, you know what CR means.
And that 12-step program was no joke. That 12-step program.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? For all of the recovering, but once you into that, you're an addict. You stay an addict. You just recovering.
Yeah. Plus, I was trying to come home sooner. So I took every program that existed. Every program. To the point where when I was at Katsaki, which is a maximum 8 prison, I was the editor for the local jail newspaper. So I was always involved with people. So becoming a counselor, and I got my degree, by the way, while I was incarcerated, got my GED first. At the time, they were allowing inmates to go to college. So upstate New York, the college that served us was Albany State University. So I got my 4-year degree. I got a bachelor's degree in human services. When I came home, I got my KSAC. I was the 79th person in New York State to get the KSAC, which is a very, very, very good credential to have. So, with my life experience and then the educational experience and my street experience and my jail experience, it made me a good counselor. I related, I identified, I knew the street lingo, I knew what was going on in the streets with the drugs. So, put me in a good position. And once I got the educational part and I mixed it with the street element, it just called for me being, this really good counselor. So when people say, yo, how did you go from that to video music box? I said, because as a counselor, I was a damn good interviewer. And I'm trying to get negative shit out of people, which is very hard to do. But then when I became a entertainment host, I'm just trying to glorify the artists and just get them to talk about themselves in a positive way. So it made it that much easier for me. And consequently, I have one of the most iconic interviews that has been on in 4 documentaries and also in a movie. That interview I did with Biggie. I believe it was maybe I can't remember the year. It was a birthday party for Ralph McDaniels, and Jay-Z came out, and Biggie and Little Kim. It was crazy. And I interviewed Biggie backstage. This is when he was first introducing Junior Mafia. So I did this interview with him, and I keep seeing it pop up everywhere.
That's why you're an icon.
But a guy like Biggie, he don't talk a lot. So to get them, like, he doesn't talk a lot. There's some interviews that I did was very difficult. What's his name? Timberland?
Yeah, Timberland.
The hardest interview I've ever done. He does not talk.
Yeah.
You gotta tickle this nigga. But again, I always acknowledge Ralph McDaniels. He had choices of hundreds of other people that wanted to be a host, but he gave me a shot. And because of him giving me a shot, I built my own empire with what I do now, which we'll get into a little later. He kept me visible. He kept, I became a local celebrity, sort of. Even until this day, when I walk up to clubs, I still get the VIP treatment. I'm like, oh shit. Because a lot of the security in these major clubs, they still there. They still run shit. So I still get that treatment. I still get the acknowledgement. Even, it's interesting, even, like, by the way, my son is on the camera. Even in his generation, what they call them, millennials or Gen Z, whatever the fuck y'all are. Okay.
Yeah. But I got a question. I've been cause we've been around since, like, I know for me, we used to run home to see Video Music Box.
Word.
I mean, we didn't have cable back then, so like it was that channel 31, that was like cable to us.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So as far as the videos and all that like that started for us, cause they were saying hip hop was gonna be a fad. So I always give my flowers to like you, Ralph McDaniels, even Big Kid. I mean, a lot of people don't even talk about Crazy Sam, Tuffy. Yeah, a lot of right. And I want you to elaborate on, because I remember when MTV was just
when they stole
and they tried to that Yo MTV Raps.
Yo MTV Raps.
Right.
Right. With Ed Lover and
Dr. Dre.
Yeah. Love Dr. Dre and Ed Lover.
Ed acknowledges it. Ed knows. So the story behind that is Ralph McDaniels approached MTV on a number of occasions because they were a national channel and Video Music Box was only metropolitan, tri-state. Ralph knew that his vision, if he could get it out in other parts of the country, that it was going to take off. But they turned him down. And then a year later, after turning him down, the show came out, Yo MTV Raps, which mimicked basically our show.
Yes.
By the way, the term I want to make a shout out came from Video Music Box. And Ralph, until this day, he beats himself up because he didn't trademark.
Yeah. But you know, we all know where it came from.
Blitzer on CNN talking about I want to make a shout out, and I want to do the Dougie.
Yeah.
You know where it came from.
You know where it came from.
Yeah. No, not just that. He would get paid.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
We remember ski trips. You know what I'm saying? You hosting the ski trips and bringing out the comedians. You know what I'm saying? Because the comedians is a big part of, you know, that everything. Hip hop is entwined in everything. Comedians is a very big part of hip hop.
Right. But when Def Comedy Jam started, Kid Capri. Shout out to my dude, Kid Capri. Russell Simmons picked him as a DJ. He was the hottest DJ on the East Coast at the time. Actually, he was a national one after that commentary. But Kid Capri knew how to excite the audience and bring comedians up to certain music. And so that became a part of the whole urban culture of comedy.
Well, while we talking about comedy, you got a whole comedy situation. What is it called?
Yeah. It's called Laughaholics, and I'll get into why I branded it that. But the only reason why any of it has been possible is because Ralph McDaniel, I keep going back to him, gave me a visual on an iconic TV show I was consistently seeing every week. So I always had a love for comedy. I was one of them dudes sitting on the stoop, snapping on niggas, and they always want to fight me. Back in the days, young man on the camera, it was called ranking.
Yeah.
Now they call it snapping. It's called ranking people out. They always wanted to fight me because I was really good at that. So I always had a love for comedy. So Ralph giving me this popularity, one dude said one day, yo, Ray, why don't you help me promote this comedy show? His name is Perry. He's from Vanderveer. He runs road manager. He's been running road manager now for over 20 years. So he kind of got locked into the industry as well. So we did a comedy show at a club in Flatbush called Rendezvous.
I remember Rendezvous.
Wow.
Yeah, Rendezvous, where the Abner Louima case took place, where the police officers plunged the guy. That was my uncle's club. By the way, my dad is Haitian and my mother's Puerto Rican. Which makes me Dominican, but that's a whole nother story. So that was my uncle's Haitian club.
Yeah.
And I was doing Wednesday nights there. And at the time, Talent, comedian who's considered one of the New York Kings right now. He had just did the movie Sunset Park. He was hot on Def Comedy Jam. I hired him as my first host. And then one day, he couldn't make it to the show. He said, Ray, you got to host. I was like, what? He said, yo, you got to host. You already host shows and you're on TV. Like, you'll be able to do it. Yeah. He said, just do it. He said, you're good with interacting with the audience. So just do some, name that jam, get them to dance and you can just snap.
Yeah.
And I did it that day and it worked. I'm like, oh shit. So at that point, I said, okay, I really like this comedy thing. Then I came up with this concept after doing the Rendezvous, just to give the audience some education on the comedy scene. There's what they have: comedy clubs, they have theaters where people go see shows, and they have comedy rooms. A comedy room is when anybody takes a bar, a restaurant, or some space and they transform it into a comedy club for one night. So I did that. I did it at a place called 3B's on Bedford Avenue, right next to McAllis College. I did that. I did the Rendezvous. I did maybe 8 to 9 different places in Brooklyn. And I did it for years until I came up with this idea about doing comedy in movie theaters. Then I went to Linden Multiplex Theater and I started doing the comedy shows there. And at that point is when I started reaching out to bigger names. Queen of Comedy some more. Bill Bellamy, Ricky Smiley, Kevin Hart, all these guys, JB Smooth, all these guys when they were first started. I used to book them Earthquake at the movie theater. So it was a thing. It was a real thing in Brooklyn.
Yes.
People
remember.
looked forward
Yes,
to
it
it.
was. Yes,
Right.
it was.
Right. I remember going to Linden.
It was a night out.
Multiplex.
For a lot of people, man. Families used to get together just to come to the show. So I expanded that. I started doing College Point Multiplex, Whitestone Multiplex. I did Magic Johnson Theater in Harlem. Started doing that. I just started doing movie theaters everywhere. So over the years, I kept saying to myself, yo, I want my own club. And then getting back to just reverting a little bit to the brand is called Laughaholics. Now, if you heard me mention up front in the interview, I said I was a drug user. So there's alcoholism, there's drug addiction. So, you know, some people refer to people that drink as alcoholics. So I took the term and I mixed it with laugh. That's why I call it Laughaholics. So my whole concept is, yeah, you can get addicted to this shit, but it's not gonna break up your family. You ain't gonna spend a lot of money, but you still gonna feel good at the end of the night.
Yeah.
That's why I call it Laughaholics.
Laughing good for you. Laughing good for you.
No, laughter is good.
Laughing good.
Laughter is good.
So over the years, I've developed relationships with Kevin Hart, Mike Epps. I got backstories with J.B. Smooth and all of these A-listers. I got a chance to meet Bernie Mac. I actually interviewed all of the original Kings of Comedy at Caroline's Comedy Club on Video Music Box. Steve Harvey, D.L. Hughley, Bernie Mac,
and
Cedric the Entertainer.
Cedric, all four of them. That's a vintage interview that I had. I've got interviews. The biggest interview I've ever done that made me super nervous was Stevie Wonder. That interview, to the point where I was so nervous, this nigga said, "Stop being nervous." I'm like, "How do you see that?" Nah, he said. So you know, there's been some rumors, Stevie, that you're not really blind, man.
Okay. Yeah, that would be a good one. Yeah.
They said that you don't have to feel nobody's wrist. Like Ray. Ray Charles.
Ray Charles.
So you got the club. I frequented a lot. Me and my wife, 275 in Park. That's the spot.
Reem and his wife was very, very, very loyal supporters of my brand. Yeah, I see them. I think I see them more than some of my staff. They really support me.
That's love. That's love.
Yeah.
That's love.
Yeah.
Now, while we talking about comics, I gotta ask. No particular order.
My top five.
It was 5.
Okay. Number 1 is Richard Pryor.
Okay.
No, I'm sorry. Let me reverse that.
Ooh.
Number 1 is Dave Chappelle.
Mm.
Number 2 is Richard Pryor. Number 3 is Bernie Mac. Number 4, and this is not based on a funny meter. This is the whole package. Number 4 is Kevin Hart. And number 5 is Tony Robbins. That's my top 5.
Top 5.
And when I say it's not based on a funny meter, it's because you have comedians that have a whole package. Kevin Hart is a whole package. The reason why he's so successful is not because he's the funniest. It's because he's likable. He's not, people are not intimidated. White people are not intimidated by him. Oh, I'm sorry. Damn, I think I'm ready to play somebody.
Oh.
No, if I had a number 6, I'd give it to Chris Rock.
Chris Rock? Okay. Look.
But Tony Robbins, pound for pound, joke for joke, nobody can fuck him.
Hell of a.
Tony, and I got him this Wednesday. Tony Robbins, when you get a chance,
Yeah, Tony Robbins is good.
This is true. He's
Now,
bananas.
you know, I'm a little biased. Where's Eddie in the mix?
Eddie Murphy,
At one time.
at one time.
He's been
replaced by Kevin Hart. As you said.
Eddie did it, but he kind of like he went away from it.
You know how people say? You know how people always say Kevin Hart is not that funny. So Eddie Murphy used to be in that position, in the Kevin Hart position. You know why? Because they gave him all the movies, and he was a movie star.
Yeah.
So when you start getting into that industry, and then people watch movies and they don't see you as funny as your first special, that nigga Kevin Hart fell off.
Yeah, nah.
He made almost $1 billion on a comedy tour. He's the only comedian that sold out stadiums around the country. Not theaters, stadiums. He had a $500,000 production on his tour. He produced himself like a rock star.
Mm-hmm.
And but Dave Chappelle, nobody can fuck with him.
Nobody can say that.
Yeah, but see, he appeals. He appeals to a crossover audience. If you ever look at a lot of his specials, it's all white. The audience is all white.
Yeah, they love him.
Yeah, they love
White, Asians, all of them.
Yeah. That Chris Rock has that crossover appeal.
Yeah, Chris Rock too.
Yeah, Chris Rock has that crossover appeal.
Do you got any up and coming comedians that should be on the radar that we should know about?
That's a good question.
Cause I've been in a couple of comedy shows, and I mean I'm liking Mark Gregory, which is Dick Gregory.
Mark Gregory is.
I like
great.
him. He's one of them guys that got the total package.
Yeah.
That I feel. I mean, like up and coming.
Dick Gregory, right?
Yes.
That's
Dick Gregory. I got
He looks just like him.
Oh yeah.
Right, look just like him. Yes.
Looks just
Yes,
like
and I like the way he interacts with the crowd, and
Yeah, he's good.
he gets you in his joke.
His name Mark Gregory?
Mark Gregory.
Mark Gregory.
Yes, he's nice. He's nice.
Now, so the total pack as a comedian, that's one who sits down and doesn't have the crowd too intimidated. He could kind of like draw the crowd.
Okay, so a guy like Bernie Mac.
Yeah.
So when you do joke for joke, then you're talking a whole different lineup from top 5.
Yeah.
Bernie Mac. If you know the history of the original Kings of Comedy tour, Steve Harvey was the host.
Yeah.
D.L. Hughley was first. No. D.L. Hughley.
Then it was
Cedric.
and then it was Bernie, wasn't it?
Yeah.
No, Bernie was last.
Bernie was the highlight.
No. Steve Harvey was the headliner.
Yeah,
he
D.L.
had the
Hughley
first
was
start.
the original host.
Yeah.
D.L., Cedric, Bernie, Steve.
Yeah.
And the reason why Steve was the headliner because he had the most credits.
Yeah.
He had a TV show. He had a bunch of shit. 2 shows in, they changed the lineup. They made Steve Harvey the host, which is the best thing they could have ever done. Because if you look at Steve Harvey now, all of his money is in hosting. Family Feud, everything. He's the host.
He even got him a judge show.
Right. We got everything.
And that's how I look at myself. I don't look at myself as a headliner. I might be more popular than a lot of these dudes, but I'm not a headliner, joke for joke. But I'm a damn good host. I think my quality is better from the snapping and the ranking stuff. My improv, I'm quick at that. Like something will happen, and I'll call attention to it and make it funny. That's what Steve does. Somebody will say something on a Family Feud, he'll flip that shit into a joke in 2 seconds. So hosting is a lot different than doing a set. Because if people are coming to see you every week, you can't do the same joke.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, and here's some education for the audience. Comedians will put out a special. Once the special is out, they cannot go around the country and do the same jokes because they burnt out, they're gone. But, let's just take Beyonce. Beyonce could keep doing the same fucking songs every city she goes to, and it's fine. You can't do that with jokes. That's why it's so hard. That's why Dave Chappelle is my top. Because Dave Chappelle did 5 one-hour specials in 1 year. Do you know how long it takes to get 10 minutes worth of straight comedy? Oh my God. Yo, it's really difficult. Right now, I can probably do, if I go somewhere that nobody knows me, I can probably do an hour. And that's all I got.
Yeah.
Dave Chappelle can come up with a special in a month. But what comedians do when they grind to get an hour is they go to club to club to club to club and they try a joke. Some of them work, they don't work, they throw them out. They try, they go back, they write. That's why Kevin Hart, his first special was dope. It was a good special. So now, if you come out with a second one, it's got to be better than the first one. It cannot be less than. Either equivalent or better.
Yeah.
But less than, no. Nah, you got to keep elevating. You can't, because they expect that of you now. You're a star.
Yeah. I want to hear funny.
That's why when Steve Harvey was following Bernie Mac. So Bernie Mac takes him to the 113th floor, and then Steve Harvey comes and he's on the 40th floor and he's not moving.
Yeah.
The people was like, yo, what's going on? Bring that nigga Bernie back.
Oh yeah.
Bernie shut it down. Bernie shut it down.
Tony Robbins, the guy I was telling you about? He's on Cat Williams' tour. Cat Williams said, I will never follow this nigga. If I follow Tony Robbins, he'll destroy my career.
Yeah.
Because the expectation of Cat wins because he's a star.
Yeah.
Tony Robbins is not a star yet. Just like Bernie Mac wasn't a star. He was out of Chicago. He was raw.
Yeah, raw.
He did Def Comedy Jam a couple of times and it hit. So the guy who produces the tour saw something and he's like, yo, this guy right here is going to be the truth. You know? That's what happened with that. But
Well, I got a question. As far as we rate hip hop artists with their ghostwriters, I know a lot of comedians have ghostwriters. Do that interfere with their funny if they getting jokes written for them? In your opinion?
does it interfere with their funny?
Yeah, like as far as like,
If they pick the wrong jokes that don't match who they are, then yes.
Because I know a lot of these comedians have writers. That's not their original joke.
Yeah, of course. Damn near all of them except Dave Chappelle.
Right. See, so that got to make them.
At the end of his special, it says written by Dave Chappelle. I pay attention to that.
Right.
Produced by Dave Chappelle.
And you've done some producing. Well, producing here and there, because you do all these shows, so you producing them. When you go and put out a special with, you know, the plethora of talent that you have around.
What I'm trying to do right now is I want to do the East Coast Urban Comedy Awards. I want to do something like that. Try to get a big sponsor and do it at the Garden. That's what I want to do.
That's nice.
That's dope.
That's nice.
And it's not out of my reach. I think I could.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to do something like that.
Man, that'd be beautiful. To see, and now, when you're giving out awards, that means people get to rate the comedians, right? They vote for them.
They vote.
Yeah. Oh, that's going to be
one thing that I will not be the person choosing the comedian.
Yeah. But that'd be crazy.
Yeah, I don't think they even got
something. In the beginning of my career in comedy, comedians hated me. Hated me. Because it was my show, and I wasn't a comedian. I was a video host. But then I was doing comedy. And they're like, yo, who the fuck this nigga? This nigga's my show. It's my show, I do what I want.
Right.
You'll be all right. He ain't even a comedian.
Right.
Yeah.
But then I took it seriously, and then I started writing and doing this and that. And now they're booking me to do. I just got booked at the. I just did Madison Square Garden on April Fool's Comedy Show. I just did that. I was on the show with Samore, Lavelle Crawford, Bruce, and Dejon Cole.
Oh, so you up there getting it in too now?
Yeah.
Now, how long is a set like that? Is that like a half an hour, 20 minutes?
Yeah.
20 minutes a long time.
20 minutes is a long time.
That's a long time.
Very long time. When you're talking in front of people, you gotta keep them laughing.
Especially if you say something that ain't funny, motherfuckers.
Now, speaking of that, was you there when T.I. got booed at the
Of course.
Barclays?
I was there. I was on the show.
He was on the show. Okay.
I was on that show. Me and Tony Roberts was on that show. So the producer, his name is Rip Michaels. He's one of the cast members on Wild 'N Out, right? He's a comedian too. So in the lineup, I don't like to be put in the lineup way in the beginning. Because in a big theater like that, 75% of the audience is not going to be there. It takes so long to fill the place up. So I told him, I was like, yo, man, don't put me early in the show. I said, first of all, I'm the only nigga on the show from Brooklyn, number one.
Don't bother.
So, you know, you got me on the show because you know that me promoting it helped bring some people in.
Yeah.
He's like, nah, Ray, you don't want to do that, man, because I'm telling you, man, it's going to be hard. You don't want to get booed. I was like, nigga, I'm not getting booed in Brooklyn.
That's confidence right there.
I don't give a fuck. And so they had Little Kim on the show and Buster. So he goes, I'll put you on after Little Kim. I said, okay. I said, you think that I'm afraid of that?
Yeah.
And she's the headliner. So now when you have a person like Little Kim and they all into these musical hits, that's again you elevating. And then everybody gotta calm down and relax, and then you gotta try to be comedy.
Yeah.
So I was like, I don't give a fuck, put me after Little Kim. And he didn't do it, he put me up front. But I made them hold the show off until the room got full. Then I did my thing. And then 2 other comedians from Wild 'N Out got booed. And then T.I. So me and Tony Roberts was on the side. And he comes up to us, he goes, with the guy who put me in the front. He said, yo, I told you, Ray. See what happened to him? I said, Tony Roberts said, nah, nigga, Ray wasn't going to get booed in Brooklyn. You got your fucking mind.
What are you talking about? You home.
Exactly.
Right.
You home.
Right.
And it's not even that. Like
that's first. That's first. Second, I'm funny.
I said, first of all, I interviewed Little Kim 5 times. I would have immediately got with her on the stage, and we would have talked about the experience of Video Music Box, number 1. So it's, you know, when you're doing comedy, the most important thing is once you get on stage, you got to connect. So how do I wake these people up and take them on my journey?
Yeah.
That audience is an average of 35 to 50. A good percentage of them knows Video Music Box.
Oh yeah.
They know Little Kim. They know who I am. So I'm like, okay, let me make that connection first. Like, okay, yeah, that's Ray.
Yeah.
Oh shit, you know, Little Kim embraced me, you know. So right there, I got my connection.
Yeah.
And then I just take them on my journey. That's how it is, man. It's a science, man. Everything is scientific.
Yeah. I told one of my mans.
T.I. got booed.
He got booed back.
Bad.
Is he still doing comedy? Because I think
I don't think he probably fell back.
I think he gave it up.
Niggas got up in the whole row. Was like, you could get whatever you like. That shit was so funny.
and Brooklyn gonna tell you how it feels.
You know how they say niggas that are celebrities, they got entourages that are yes people.
Yeah.
So his wife Tiny was standing right in front of me. I'm on the side of the stage with me and Tony Robbins and his crew. So when T.I. came off, he was like, yo, that shit was dope. Tony Robbins was like, no, it wasn't. Don't lie to that nigga. He should fire y'all when he was saying that.
Yeah, you got him embarrassed up there, telling him he was dope. He went up there and got booed.
I don't think he back on it, right? He cut it out.
I don't know.
I don't hear him promoting no more like he was before.
Yeah, man.
He was going crazy with the promotion too. He was going hard.
Yeah, because I think I want to say right after that he got into it with the female comedian because she was getting on him and he wanted her to stop getting on him because he started it, but she finished him off.
Yeah.
And then he got on stage and tried to grab the
Atlanta.
mic.
Yeah,
But that was like a week after. So I think after that, I think he wrapped it up.
All during the downfall.
Yeah.
Yo, the only thing I can say is that he tried. He didn't give up.
That's right.
He
kept
took a
getting
shot.
booed.
You got to take a shot.
And then what he did was, what was smart, he was getting booed like crazy. You get booed for 7 minutes straight, nigga. That's crazy. That's a long time. You know how many people in the Barclay? Well, it sounds like an earthquake in that.
That shit broke out in a rap or something.
No, this is what he did.
He did a small thing.
Who was DJing? Enough. No, Envy was DJing. So he turns around, looks at him, he's like, yo, Envy, put on one of my joints. And he got him back because he put the joint on. Put on one of his hits. And the crowd started going crazy. And then T.I. was like, nah, fuck that, I'm not giving up. Turn that shit off. He went back.
He went back to, oh man, see y'all.
Getting booed again.
See?
Started doing a joke about his son. Some shit. They was not having him.
Stick to the music.
Brooklyn is no joke. Any fucking.
Yeah, Brooklyn's real.
Brooklyn will boo a jazz artist.
See, they do at the game.
Anybody.
You quick for this, man. You ain't ready for this.
Yeah.
So you're out of here.
It's a different animal.
Yeah.
This whole New York is a different animal. From you coming to Brooklyn, you being
it's
Apollo.
a craft.
Yeah.
Whether you're a hip hop artist or R&B artist, stage and controlling your audience is a skill, man, that a lot of artists and comedians do not have. And that's like a big part of the fucking game. Like, yo, you can't do that.
You're a comedian. You gotta have some tough skin to do that.
You gotta have some tough skin to get in front of people, period. I don't care if you're talking, singing, or doing comedy. Just standing up in front of people. Even like, say you had a wedding. Does anybody want to have something to say? Come on up. Niggas don't want to do that. Public speaking is the #1 phobia next to fear of dying. Fear of public speaking is second to fear of dying.
Yeah.
That's deep.
Yeah.
Sure.
Even this, what y'all do here, it's not easy.
That camera not easy at all.
Not easy.
Not easy at all.
Ralph told me when I first started, he said, Ray, you have to act like the audience is one person.
Yeah.
So even when I do a big theater, I'm getting ready to do Atlantic City Comedy Festival. They put me on that in October. Right. You're talking to 10,000 people, but it's really one person.
Yeah.
You have to find the medium. You got to find that middle, so everybody can meet you on that middle. Try not to alienate people. White people on the show, I bring them right in. Spanish people, West Indian people, bring them in. Let them know you know a little bit about their culture.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, the connection.
Yeah.
You gotta have that connection.
West Indians in the audience, yeah. So, yo, I want y'all to know before I came, I had a good meal at Golden Crust. And fuck the limo, I came in a dollar van. That's it. So now it's like, okay, you're ridiculing their culture, but you're acknowledging them at the same time. So now they're paying attention.
They're gonna ride with you.
Yeah. Especially at the dollar bed. Everybody ride with you.
Right.
Everybody ride with you the dollar bed.
All West Indians know Golden Crust.
Yeah.
They do.
Yes, they do. Yes, they do.
And if you're in New York, the dollar van,
You that guy.
you took it. This comedian said the dollar vans are out of control. He was in King's Plaza, and a van pulled up in the plaza, in King's Plaza. Screaming out, Utica.
Pulled up in King's Plaza.
I went out there. I went in the plaza, came out. They done took over the buses.
Yeah.
They done took over the bus. Remember the bus used to sit there?
Yeah. Taliban.
I want to know why they still call it a dollar van.
He's like $3.
She's going up with NTA. Right? They going with NTA.
Every time, yep.
And they're like they call, I said Family Dollar. They need to change that name.
Is that?
It's not Family Dollar movie.
Yeah.
Yes,
Everything it's over $1.
Yes, it is.
Dollar General, all that.
cheap though. I don't give a fuck.
It's not cheaper than Dollar Tree.
Dollar Tree.
Dollar Tree got the same thing that Family Dollar got.
He's a dollar store expert.
Uncle Mike.
So is there, let me ask you this, is there a difference between an Arab bodega and a Puerto Rican bodega?
Yeah.
Puerto Rican bodega on Academy.
As a cat?
Or one sell pork and one won't.
And Arab don't sell pork.
Yeah.
That's true. That's true. That's true. That's true.
You're right about the cat too.
You see the joke online with that dude Rashid that said the joke about the cat?
Yeah, that was hilarious.
Man, this guy, he passed away.
He passed away, right? Yeah, I
Yeah.
seen
He got a
that.
joke, he's like, Mr. Rodriguez, why every time I come in here the cat is always sleeping on the bread? And he said, because he living here. He living here, maricón. He living here.
Yeah.
He
said
went
to the
back
cat,
to
he said, why every time you come in here you buy the 40 ounce and you ask me how much it costs? You buy this shit every fucking day, you pendejo.
Yeah, Rashid was a funny dude.
Yeah.
He was one of the dudes that was gonna blow.
Yeah.
He passed away.
Now, as we get back to your comedy club, 275 apart. Do you also promote other talents like R&B, jazz?
Yes. So 275 Park Laughaholics is the name of the club. But it's really an adult entertainment venue. No, not strippers. So I do comedy, old school hip hop. Examples: Big Daddy Kane, MC Light. I got CL Smooth coming.
Oh.
In a few weeks. Positive K is coming. By the way, Positive K is now a stand-up comedian.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. So I'm gonna have Positive K and CL Smooth the same night. I want to see Positive K do stand-up. So that's what I do. We have live bands. So I've done jazz. I just wanted it to be a venue in Brooklyn instead of Manhattan that people could get premium entertainment. And I recently had Michael Blackson, African King of Comedy, which is another guy who came up with me. And we did 4 shows, sold out, really, really good. My next A-lister, well, I have T.K. Kirkland scheduled for the end of September, but I'm working on Mike Epps right now. Which is another guy that came up with me in the business. When he moved up from Atlanta, he moved to Brooklyn. And all the comedy rooms I was referring to earlier, Mike Epps used to come and go.
So comedy is actually, it's a big, like the circuits, because it's almost like circuits. You come to Brooklyn, then you could come to New York, you know what I'm saying? So if you're an upcoming comedian, you think, you could do it. What's some of the places you suggest a guy start at or a female start at? Maybe in front of some friends or should they try one of the rooms?
Well, first thing that you have to do, you aspire to be a stand-up comic, is you gotta be funny, nigga, whoever you are. Or sister, you gotta be fucking funny. Don't think because you got people laughing on the corner, you can translate that into comedy. Don't work that way. You know how many times dudes can't go, Ray, I'm telling you, man, my homeboy is funny as a fuck. I said, all right, tell him to come. I'll give him 5 minutes. Get up there, freeze. It's not the same. When you get up in front of an audience, I introduce you. There's an expectation as soon as you hit the stage to make them laugh.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It ain't no, just off the top, we sitting here on the stoop and somebody's good at snapping and they just snap on something. Nah, don't work that way. And I tell the new people, you cannot come to my club and get on the stage and start snapping on people. You can't do that. You gotta do material.
Homework first, baby.
You gotta do material.
That's it. Yeah, that sounds like it's definitely a whole different animal than snapping.
Oh yeah, I seen a couple of people bomb at the spot.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
me and Janet was like, oh my god, I don't know if this person hurry up. You know what I'm saying? But you know, you come in with that, like I said, it's different. It's definitely different.
It's crazy because I got a homeboy that on the stoop, we think he's hilarious.
Funny.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I've been telling him, yo, you want to try your hand? And I'm like, but you need to go in front of like the mirror, practice doing
Or
it.
record yourself.
Because I said, it's no joke.
You have to organize it and put it in a story form. Like I would say, okay, let me take aspects of my life. Okay, I was on drugs, I was in the streets, I did video music box, I did this. And then I find funny in each of those elements and then I connect it into a story. That's how you come up with time. Like, you know, getting old is a wide area to talk about.
Yeah.
So, you know, I just had a stroke about a month ago. And so I got jokes about this. Even from the hospital, I'm telling the jokes on FaceTime to my audience about what happened to me. But immediately you gotta make light of it. Like, yo, fuck that. I was downtown on Fulton Street. I just came out of a watch place getting a battery for my watch. And all of a sudden it felt like the ground was shaking, like moving. I'm like, oh shit. Got a little dizzy, tried to shake it off, didn't happen. Sat my ass on a bench and there was a dude sitting on the end, crackhead nigga, right? So in my mind, I'm telling the audience in my mind, the only thing I'm thinking about is not even my health. I'm thinking about if I pass out, this nigga's gonna rob me.
That's a Brooklyn shit.
So, yeah, you know what I mean?
Oh, this nigga gonna rob me.
So I was like, let me take a picture of this nigga. I will be snitching. But again, you know, I make light of it. I make jokes of it. It kind of helps me to get through it because, yo, I'm at the age now where all of this shit could happen.
Well,
and then now when people see me, right, and they knew that I had it, they like, oh shit, what's up, Ray? Yo, I heard you had a stroke, nigga. You look good as a fuck, though. I'm like, well, what am I supposed to look like? So, nigga, you're supposed to look all twisted, fucked up, which is the truth. People that have strokes, they get paralyzed or
They left side.
their face droops, the whole nine. I had the slurred voice and all of that. My whole left side was weak, but I didn't get it wasn't a massive, it was a mild stroke. I was lucky. And then, the year before that, I fell down some stairs, I ruptured both tendons in my leg. So I had casts. I'm all fucked up in the hospital. I'm like, okay, how do I find a joke with this shit? So the cast was so heavy, I couldn't have sex with my wife because if I lay on her, this shit would crush her. So I was like, come on, man. I said, yo, black people, we figure this shit out. How am I gonna do this shit? So I was like, I told my wife, I said, look, I'm gonna get some encyclopedias. I'm gonna put them on the bed. So to even you up, we gotta look at the distance. So I'm gonna be having sex like Stilt Man. So yo, I said, black people, we figure this shit out no matter what.
You gotta figure it out. You gotta figure it out.
I told them, I said, the first time they took me out when I was in the therapy hospital, I'm walking around looking at some homeless nigga. I was like, yo, nigga, what's up, man? You good? I give you 200 a leg. You ain't doing shit with your legs.
All right.
Let me get those.
Let me get those.
Give you 200 a leg.
You would have took that too, be good.
Let me get that.
Let me get those. Let me get those legs.
Yeah. Well, we definitely want to say thank you for coming through. And of course, you know, you came through. This is a Brooklyn thing. You know, we from Brooklyn style. You know, we want to give you that. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, man. It's quality. Niggas be selling for
Man, thank you. I'm happy you said that.
You can tell by the feel right away.
You know what happened? I did buy some of the Fugazi shirts. And my wife told me, homeboy, you won't buy none of these ever again. So that was the end of that. That was the end of that.
You learn. They're rough.
Yeah.
And one wash, that's it. You're done. See, whatever you do, same quality as the white tee you got on. Just focus in on that shirt. See?
Yeah.
Just take a look at that shirt. That's the last time you're gonna see that. One wear.
Yo, Ray, we want to say thank you for coming, and we want to wish you more blessings, health, and more.
I definitely had to do this. My boy Kareem,
Son,
he asked me, this is small to what he does for me, him and his wife. They come by, they pay, he never asked for a break. They pay, they come in, they eat, they drink, they support me. That's what it's all about.
Yeah,
they support everybody. That's why they here. They here on the regular too.
Yeah,
they supported.
Yeah, man. So that was my motivation to do it. This guy right here and his wife.
Appreciate you.
We appreciate y'all. Thank you. And yo, you know what it is.
We made a deal. He got to give me some oxycodone after this.
They got to tighten you up. They got to tighten you up.
Stop selling the stupid.
He like, man, you know this. There's a lot of shit.
I told him, I said, I don't get the oxy. I cut your dreads off.
Oh man.
Gotta get those.
You gotta get those.
Yeah.
Yo, see, this is the type of show here. Like, this is where it all starts.
Yeah.
Y'all gonna blow up.
Catch me on the stoop, baby.
Catch us on the stoop. No place like home.
237, the stoop.
You know what it is.
Yo, man. Appreciate you, man.
You ain't saying what you doing.
Let me say one more thing, right quick.
Okay.
So this is 237 the stoop. Fuck the barbershop. I know everybody thinks that's where all the conversations happen in the barbershop. No. Happens on a stoop.
Yes.
In the hood.
Yes, it does.
We in Bed-Stuy.
Huh?
Happens on the stoop. You want to hear good conversation? Gotta tune into the stoop 237.
No place like home. You know what it is.
No place like home. No place like the block. Let's go.
There you go. That's what's up.